Good evening and welcome to our cooking class. My name is Nicole Sturgis and I wanted to come to you tonight to teach you a little bit about my love for Epicure and why I decided to become a consultant. But more importantly, I want to cook up a delicious meal raw to ready in 20 minutes so that I can show you what made me completely fall in love with this product line and simply why I buy Epicure on a regular basis. So, a little bit about myself. My name's Nicole Sturgis, and I live in Eau Claire, Wisconsin with my family. I have 3 little kiddos and a husband and a couple dogs, busy family and a busy life. And one thing that I don't often have time for is spending a lot of time in my kitchen. So when I attended my first Epicure party, I was in love with and mesmerized by the opportunity to make dinner fast, make it look good, smell good, and just that it was simple for me and for my family to cook up delicious, healthy, and affordable meals. So that's why I'm here and why I decided to become a consultant. Tonight's going to include 3 things. Number 1, I'm going to talk a little bit about Epicure's philosophy. Number 2, I'm going to do a demo for you and show you a meal made from raw to ready, and talk about some of those mealtime dilemmas that you may have identified. And third, I want to show you some of my favorite products from Epicure and the ones that I use the most in my house. I often get the question, I'm new to Epicure, so what items do I start with? It's overwhelming, there's so many great things, what should I buy? So I'm here to help you with that as well. Nobody wants to be stuck in an ordering dilemma, right? We're trying to teach mealtime, we're fixing meal times and we're making things better, so we also want to make your ordering a little simpler. Epicure. Who knows what Epicure is? Who's heard of it? Raise your hand. Well, I had not heard of it up until a 1.5 years ago. Epicure has been around in the US for almost 2 years, but it is not a new company. It's been around in Canada. It was actually, that's where Epicure came from, was up in Canada. And it's been around for 24 years. So it's a long time. Epicure is an established company, and it's everyone in Canada, it's a household name, so people know about it. And it's new to the US, so many of you, I'm sure, have truly never heard about the product line. So that's super exciting for you to be a part of this meal and this week as well, so that you can learn all there is to know. Epicure was created by a mother named Sylvie, and she wanted to make healthy meals in her home, and so she started to make her own seasonings and her own product line, and then decided to share that with others. So it is a family-owned and run company. She then passed it down to her daughter, Amelia, who's the CEO of Epicure and is an amazing, amazing lady. So I fell in love, number 1, with the product because I went to an in-home party. I attended a party and was able to taste the products and be a part of trying it out and watching things created. And when I saw this product, which I'm going to talk about, our multi-purpose steamer, cook a meal up in approximately 6 minutes, I was intrigued. I wanted to know more about it. But I also was interested in the products because when I picked them up and they showed me them at the parties, I could read the backs of every package and every jar that I looked at, and I was amazed. As a label reader myself, I want to make sure that what I put into my family's food, into my own body, that it's healthy things and it's whole food and it's real, and I know that it's coming from a good place. And that's the one thing that we're promised for sure with all Epicure products. We are promised the never ever list, which is, if you look inside the catalog, on one of the very first pages. And it includes all of these items here on this amazing list. Yes, this is a big list, but yet it fills up the whole page of it. You will never ever find gluten in Epicure products. That's great. For so many people, that's actually a blessing because lots of people have gluten allergies and gluten intolerance. So no products will have gluten. There will be no dyes, no bleached flour, no artificial sweeteners or syrups or peanuts. You guys, I can't even pronounce most of the things on this list, so I won't even pretend to try. But you will never have all these added fillers inside the food. You are promised with Epicure that you're getting whole ingredients that are sourced from amazing places. We are promised with Epicure products that we're getting the best. And so I'm satisfied knowing that. So I'll wait for good products to arrive. Well, let's get started. Tonight we are featuring the Good Mexican kit. This is one of the most popular kits, so I like to feature this one, but we also have other ones. We have a burger kit, and we have an Asian kit. We have a Greek kit, and we also have a new barbecue kit, which is awesome, and that's a seasonal kit as well. It comes with some amazing products. But tonight we're doing the Mexican. We will be making some poco picante salsa. We will also be making some chicken fajitas. We could do beef, tofu, but tonight we're going to do chicken. And we're also going to make some guacamole. All sound delicious, right? Also with the kit, there are enchiladas in there. So you get 2 enchilada seasonings. So that's pretty awesome as well. If you get the extended kit, which also includes 2 more things, you get the multi-purpose steamer with that one, which is such a great price point if you look at it. And you also get the citrus press, which is great. It's got the lime and the lemon. So pretty awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and make fajitas. And without talking, this meal would be done in about 10 minutes. That's it. So let's get started. We are gonna go ahead and we're gonna use our multi-purpose steamer to make our fajitas. Our multi-purpose steamer is 100% food grade silicone. So you can be promised you're getting the best product to put in your microwave. And microwave cooking is 100% safe. In fact, if you read the studies, the Harvard studies and everything that's out there, will explain that when you cook something quickly in a microwave or anywhere that you can do it really fast, you're actually getting a healthier version of that food item. So when we cook our chicken up in here today and our vegetables, all the nutrients are going to stay inside our vegetables and our meat because we're cooking it up fast. So that's great to know as well. Our multi-purpose steamer comes with obviously the lid. It comes with a rack so that you can put vegetables on the top, meat on the bottom, or you can simply take the rack out and you can do it as a one-pot meal. I love this rack for the purpose of making bacon, that all my bacon grease just drips down. It's awesome for pumpkin seeds when you are, in the fall and you're putting your pumpkin seeds, instead of putting them in your oven, put them right in your microwave. Way less time. But today we're not going to need the tray. I'm gonna do it as a one-pot meal. If you like your food separated, definitely add that and put your veggies on the top. So tonight, we are gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our chicken. We're gonna go ahead and use our ceramic knife. I love this knife because it cuts so easy and it is so sharp. It's also got a blunt edge, so that helps as well for keeping it nice and sturdy. And just watch your fingers, it is quite sharp. So I'm gonna cut my chicken up into strips. I have some already in our 4-cup prep bowl. I do love our 4-cup prep bowl because it comes with a lid, and the lid is right underneath here. Comes with that lid and I can store it in my fridge. It's a silicone lid, just keeps everything so fresh and so easy. And then I can always stack my bowls on top of each other, so that's great. So I'm gonna add our chicken to our steamer. And putting it in there. Now I could add way more than that. I'm just making it for my husband and I this evening. So I'm just putting 1 breast of chicken in there, and we're gonna do a ton of veggies and some pepper as well. So adding that to the steamer, I'm gonna give you 2 bits of advice. When I'm making this, if I decide to separate it, I will sometimes put my meat in for a few minutes, and then I will drain any water that releases from the meat, and then I will add my seasoning to it. Because I'm doing a 1-pot meal tonight, I'm actually just gonna dump it together and I will not do that. But if you have anything that you know is gonna be juicy, it's okay to cook it for a little bit in your microwave, then drain any liquid out, then add the seasoning to it so that you don't waste that when you have to kind of drain it at the end. So hopefully that helps. So I added my meat here, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut up my onion because I want a little bit of onion in there as well. So again, using my awesome chef knife here, I'm going to cut and put my onion inside. I can't wait to show you a little bit about why this fajita seasoning is so much better than store-bought seasoning. I also want to mention that anything that I talk about with Epicure in comparison to other products, I bought tons of store-bought things prior to finding out about this company. So it's empowering to know that, yep, I'm guilty of buying all different kinds of products with different fillers in it, but to know that I have the option to buy better is pretty great. So no judgment if you love your store-bought things, but great to know that you have the option to choose differently if you would like that. We're gonna head over to the sink because I wanna show you something as I grab my peppers, one important tool for my kitchen that makes things just so much easier for me. All right, here's this awesome tool that I have here on my sink. This is called a roll-up rack. Now, this was one of those items that I didn't actually think I needed until I bought it, and now I want a second one for the other side. So I use this roll-up rack for many different reasons. Number one, I have all these dirty dishes. You don't want to probably zoom into that, but I've got a lot of dirty dishes down here, and I hate that I can't do what I want to over my sink without this roll-up rack. So I can wash my vegetables preparation for what I'm making. I can also take any dirty or clean cutting boards, and I can put them right in here, and I can wash them. I can leave them standing straight up. My tap to my steamers there. I also love that I can put my scrubber. When I stick it here, it always falls off, and so I have a place to kind of rest it right there. And I also like it for this reason. It stores, just like it says, really easy. I can roll it to the side, and I can also take it off, and I can store it wherever it is I want, travel with it. I can also put it on my table when I have really hot items and I need like a really large place to put a baking dish or casserole dish, and then I'm not kind of heating my counter up. I have it on something safe. It is also safe to go inside your dishwasher. So that's another kitchen tool that has saved me time and energy and that I absolutely love. All right, we're back. Let's go ahead and finish up our fajitas. I grabbed my pepper and I started cutting it up here. So I've got my red pepper. I'm only thinking, because it's two of us, I'm only gonna add one pepper tonight. I like that I can add a little or a lot depending on how many people I'm going to feed. I could fill this whole entire container if I wanted. But the nice part is that I can also do half batches of things. If my kids like it, maybe not so spicy, I can make one batch real quickly in there. And then I can take and make another batch in 4 to 5, 6 minutes, and I can make it spicy and I can add what my husband and I love. So that helps me solve that, like, my kids like this, but we like this, and how do we help everybody? So that's a mealtime dilemma, is just trying to figure out and serve everybody and meet everybody's needs. The steamer just goes so quickly. Everyone's needs will definitely be met. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I almost forgot to add my seasoning. I don't want to forget that. So I'm going to go ahead and add our fajita seasoning right here. And I want to show you a little comparison because I told you that I would. I have a store-bought item. See, I told you I used to buy these, and I kept this one. And I'm going to compare the backs. One thing I love is that Epicure is low to no sodium. Oftentimes our products have 0 sodium in them, which is great. And the reason I like that is because I get to add the sodium that I want. I'm not stuck with what the store says I should have. I get to choose it with Epicure. So if I look at the store-bought sodium, a serving is 430 milligrams. That's quite a lot of sodium per serving. And that is actually just 2 tablespoons. That's quite a lot. So I'm going to put that one aside. And Epicure's has 0 sodium. There is none in this at all. So I can go ahead and grab one of my favorite herbed garlic seasonings. It's got salt and herbs and a little bit of garlic in here. And I can just kind of grind that in and put in as much as I want, which I like to have low sodium, so I just add a little bit. I'm going to use my 4-in-1 spoon. It has all 4 measurements: tablespoon, teaspoon, half, and a fourth on the other side. And I'm going to go ahead and add, I could look at the back because all the directions are on the back of our packages. It does say 1 pound of chicken. I don't actually have that much, so I'm only going to add 1 tablespoon of the seasoning, even though it asks me to add 2. I could also, if I decided at the end or halfway through my cooking process, if I wanted to add more, I could. But that should be enough. I've also learned that sometimes when it tells me to add something, I can add less than what it tells me to because it's so flavorful. So I like that I can save a little bit of my product and use it later. So I'm able to get more out of the jar. So I went ahead and I added my top air holes opposite the handles, because when you go to take it out, you want them opposite because sometimes they're steaming hot, right? So I'm going to go ahead, make sure I have a good grip on my multi-purpose steamer, and pop it in the microwave really quickly. If you have a pretty heavy dish here, like maybe you have soup or something heavy, please put it underneath a tray because that's important. So maybe you have just a ceramic plate or something, because then when you go to take it out, it's just really sturdy. Otherwise, just make sure to grab the bottom really tight, because it is firm in study, but it is also flexible, which is great. So it's got both those features. When it gets hot, it's a little bit more flexible. I'm gonna add this to my microwave, and I'm only going to put, I slammed that pretty loud there. I'm gonna put it in for 3 minutes, and at 3 minutes, I'm gonna check it. So halfway through, I do like to mix up my meat just a little bit, and the stuff in the center then kind of mixes around to the outside, and then it cooks a little bit more evenly. So I am going to move this tray away that had my meat on it. And I'm going to move it over because while that's cooking, I want to make sure to get going on the rest of my meal. So I told you that I was going to make guacamole, and our Epicure guacamole is quite fabulous, and it's one of my most returned items, not returned, people return to buy this item and restock on it. So our guacamole seasoning. If you love guacamole, awesome. This is the perfect seasoning for you. If you're not a guac fan though, like my dad is not a huge guac fan, but he uses this seasoning actually on his on anything. I think he uses it on chicken. He just did a video for me and he talked about that. Like it's not just for guacamole, it's for anything. It just seasons eggs up really yummy. So it doesn't just need to be used for guacamole. So important to know. On the back here, it does ask me to add 2 ripe avocados, which I did, and 3 tablespoons of the mix. This is one where I know I don't have to add 3 tablespoons. I know I can actually only add 1 to 1.5, so I can do half of it. So I'm not going to do the trick tonight, but you can actually, well, maybe I will. You can actually put 2 fingers on the seed side so you don't have to hurt yourself or almost jab your fingers. Okay, this was on TikTok. And you put your thumb in the back and you can actually pop the seed out. Some people like to keep the seed. Well, this one's a little bit softer, so it's not working that well. There we go. Usually it pops out and just kind of works really nicely. But you can go ahead then and squeeze it into the bowl. I already have 1 full one in here. I'm going to wipe my fingers off. They're nice and messy. Some people like to keep the pit inside because it helps with helps it from browning and just kind of keeps it fresh. And then I also have my meat separator. I like this for meat and for mashing, but I also like it for mashing my guacamole. And this is like perfectly ripe. I hardly have to do any mashing. So there we go. But I'm going to add my seasoning. Again, using my spice spoon. And it says to add 3. I'm going to do 1.5 because I know it's perfectly flavored with 1.5. Normally, I would use limes for my guacamole, but tonight all I had in my fridge was lemons. And so I use what I have, and lemons will work perfect for it as well. So using our citrus press here, oh my goodness, our chicken's already done. I'm just going to squeeze in a half of a lemon. And then I'm going to save this because we're actually going to put a little bit of the lemon juice inside of our salsa that we're going to make as well. So I'm going to just mash this up with my meat separator, and it is ready to go. Oh my gosh, it smells and looks so good. And it is ready. I do like our meat separator because it truly is just easy to get things off of, and it doesn't really stick like my old one used to get everything jammed inside. So here it is. I've got my guacamole ready to go, and it is perfect. I don't need to add anything else to it. That is it. So pretty perfect. I'm going to check on our meat and our veggies. Again, grabbing it with my fingers underneath, opening it with the holes away from me. Holy bonkers, you see all that steam? It looks so delicious. There we go. And I'm going to use our 3-in-1 spoon to kind of mix it around. And the meat is probably a little over halfway done. So all I'm going to need to do is I'm going to put it in for another 3 minutes. What I don't want to do is overcook it. So I'm going to put this in for 3 more. I might even take it out a little early if I feel like that it's done. I oftentimes will say until you get to know your microwave, play around with it, but don't overcook something. So fajitas usually take me between 5 and 6 minutes. All right, and they should be perfectly done. If you do not like crisp veggies, you can always put your meat in for a few minutes and then add your veggies afterwards. That's a great way to keep the kind of al dente, that crispness of your vegetables, and I often like them like that as well. So, all right, so we have our guac, and we're gonna go ahead and make our salsa. Salsa is so easy with our product because all you need are fresh tomatoes, or you can get a can. I love to use the original diced tomatoes and green chili. This is a Rotel brand, and it just is easy because everything's already in here. I do like to add a little extra onion because my family likes a lot of onion. I have a daughter who is a huge onion fan. My husband loves onions as well, so that works good for us. So all you do is pour that in there, and then I add our Poco Picante salsa. This does have a bit of a kick to it, so I always warn people that you may want to add only half of it and then give it a try and decide how much more you want to add. So Again, I can use the same one because it just had other seasonings in it. And on the back, it tells me to add 2 tablespoons. And my family does like a little bit of spice, but I'm going to add 1.5 for us. It does have green, or it has chilies in there, so got to be careful how much you add. If you like the spice, man, oh man, you might even want to add a little extra. You can make a dip with this as well. You can take this, the guacamole seasoning, add a little bit to some mayo and sour cream, and you have an amazing dip to add to the top of like a Mexican omelet or something like that. So I don't just use it for my Mexican meal. I also might use it for like a dip for something. So again, super versatile. I'm gonna take my spoon and just kind of mix it around. I'm gonna have a perfect salsa as well. I'm not gonna demo this tonight, but while I'm waiting for the chicken to finish, I do wanna tell you that you can make your own homemade chips, and it's so simple. There we go. All you need to do is cut up a tortilla shell. You cut it up in any shape that you want. You can stick it in your steamer for just a little over a minute, and you have perfectly crisp tortilla shells. So you can make your own homemade chips as well. Tonight, I'm gonna pop this in right when I grab the meat out, and if I put this shell in the microwave for 1.5 minutes, I'm gonna have a hard shell that I can make a fajita bowl out of. So it comes out perfect. So I can make a taco shell and use it for like our taco night on Tuesdays, or I can make a fajita bowl with it. So what a great way to have your own shell as well. So again, I'm using our strainer right here. Okay, it's a collapsible strainer, so it just collapses down. I put the shell inside, I pop it in my microwave for approximately 1.5 minutes, and I'm gonna have an awesome shell ready to go. So I only have 4 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that out because I am certain it will be done. Opening it away from me again. Oh, it is sizzling and it is delicious. Check that out. Okay, it is quite warm, so I'm just gonna kind of mix it around. I'm gonna add the top back on because it'll keep it nice and warm for a good chunk of time while we finish up. And there we go. I have my fajitas ready to plate up in just a minute and enjoy. I'm gonna also pop this in just like this. I'm gonna do 1 minute and 30 seconds, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take it out and see what it looks like. And then if I decide, I could even put some rice in there because rice cooks up awesome in our steamer as well. Other things that I make in my steamer would be potatoes, eggs, rice. I can put cinnamon rolls, the ones you get from the store, and you unravel it and put it. You can bake those, and they take less than 2 minutes to make in your microwave. You can make bacon, chicken, beef, hamburgers cook up. Hamburgers in my microwave only take 3 minutes. That's how fast they are. So super cool. Tonight, though, I want to feature a couple other things. I'm not going to make dessert for you, but I do want to talk about it. We have amazing desserts, super fast to make up. We have this chocolate pudding. You add the chocolate pudding to milk, and you have an amazing pudding with like under half the amount of sugar that you would normally have in regular pudding. So it's super great. Sweet banana bread takes just minutes in your microwave. 3 minutes and my banana bread is finished if I'm using my microwave, and I'm using my muffin makers that we sell as well. So what a great option. My kids absolutely love it. We have a citrus lime cheesecake. This is a newer product, and it was gone for a while, and it has returned. Hopefully by the time you watch this, it is back. But our lime cheesecake is so easy to make. It is a no-bake, and it tastes so, so good. Those are just a couple of our desserts. Some of my other favorite products right now are our creamy ranch. I guess this has always been a favorite product of mine, but I love our creamy ranch because it's so much healthier than regular store-bought ranch, and these are the items that are in it. You'll be amazed. I gotta actually get to that part of it. There's onion, buttermilk powder, garlic, black pepper, chives, citric acid, and spices. Okay? It does contain milk, so that's in there. That must be obviously in the buttermilk part of it, but you gotta check this out. People that usually are, they call themselves ranch snobs, usually will say that this is delicious and it overpowered the one that they used to buy, and now this is their go-to. Other products would be our balsamic vinaigrette. I love any of our dressings because I can make a dressing super fast and they're way healthier. I can also make how much I want and not have to throw out old dressings or have to remember that I'm looking at the back to see when I made them. I love our balsamic vinaigrette. It's so, so good. Our broths as well. We have a couple different options of broths, and these are great because of the sodium. There is the sodium of regular broth, which you may have already checked out, is crazy. And if you look at our sodium, per serving, it's 35 milligrams instead of store-bought, which is well over 500. Crazy difference. So just a few of our products. And before I grab that awesome shell out, I also want to talk about one more thing. And these are our meal solutions. So when I talk about meal dilemmas, I always go to our meal solutions because they 100% solve all the dilemmas that I've listed, whether it's just not motivated or meal rut, not knowing what to cook, or only feeding for a family of 2. I love our meal solutions because of all those reasons. They make it quick and fast for me. So every week, I actually go to my cupboard. I have this pantry. I don't know if you can see this, but I have a pantry, and I have this shoe rack in here. And I always go to this to grab out what meals I want for the week. And it's quick and easy. I look at the backs of the packages, I shop the outside aisles, and I know exactly what I'm making, and I don't even have to prep a lot of times ahead of time. And so these are a few of my favorite meals. We've got this ooey gooey queso that makes a great dip. I can also add it to my Tuesday tacos that I make. Mac and cheese will become your favorite if you like mac and cheese. I promise that you will switch over to this one really quickly when you look at the difference in product and the ingredients on it. Our pulled pork, you can add way more meat than it asks on the back, and this package goes a long way. You could even half the package. If you're a family of 2, use half the package on half the amount of meat, and then save some for later. Just seal it up, and you're good to go. Our pad thai is amazing. We just have so many options. Our sweet garlic chicken is absolutely one of my favorites. Love that one. I could go on and on about all the different meals, but our meal solutions are great. And many of these come in our collections that we have, and we have monthly collections. We're always offering a collection because that's really where you get your best bang for your buck. When you get a collection, you don't just get little pieces of Epicure, you get it all encompassed in one product package. And so you get to try everything, and you can intertwine those the combination of things that you're buying. And that's really important because then you get to see how Epicure can really solve and work with you in your kitchen and solve those dilemmas. So I do love our collections for that reason, and the price point is always great. There's always a savings there, and who doesn't like a savings? So grabbing out our hard, awesome shell, I just want to show you this, and I'm going to plate it up and show you how it looks. So nice and hard and crispy. In fact, I'm just going to break a little corner off right here to show you that. So crispy and delicious. I could also season it with something if I wanted to. All right, I'm going to grab a plate, and I'm going to put this together so you can see what it looks like. So grabbing my plate out really quick, let's go ahead and plate this up. I have my shell, all right, and I have my awesome fajitas in here. These look so good. All right, so I'm gonna add my fajitas. And if I wanted to sprinkle on more seasoning, I could. I think this is a perfect amount, to be honest. There's Labrie. Okay. I'm going to add one more piece of chicken because I'm hungry. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit of my guacamole to it. And of course, I've got to have the salsa on top. Delicious. And I'm ready to go. So, the last couple of things I want to talk about this evening, 4 different things. Number 1, if you're like, oh my gosh, this is great, all these awesome products, I want to check these out. You may also want to consider hosting. I talked about our collection and how awesome our collections are and what a great price point they are, but they are a little bit spendier. One way to get that collection for a way better price is by hosting your own class. Number 1, you can earn half off items, super easy, and you get free items as well. So hosting a class will help you get free and half off product, and who doesn't want to do that? So consider hosting. It also gives your it also gives the host that invited you a 50% off item extra than they already get, and you get a $20 bonus just for saying, yeah, I'll host a class. So I encourage you to do that. If you saw something here that inspired you to want to earn some extra cash, or you're like, oh my gosh, you just buy these really healthy products and you get a discount on them and you share them with people, yep, that's kind of exactly what I do. I would love to talk about the opportunity with you to also join me on my team. I'm always looking for people who are interested in good food, whether you want to sell it or just get the discount. Let's chat. And third, I have a Good Food Club, and I would love for you to join my Good Food Club. What it is a commitment to purchasing $39 each month, and at the end of your year's time, so if this time next year you get $100 free and 2 half-off items just for being a part of the club. Now, many people always reorder monthly anyways, and I always come back to them and say, you need to be a part of my Good Food Club. You're ordering anyways, and then they realize, I should just do it. So check out the food product, fall in love with it, and then let's check out my Good Food Club. Last but not least, thank you so much for joining us this evening and being a part of this class. Our class is not done yet, so make sure to keep following the posts. Make sure to turn on your comments, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a great night.